I'd like to ask? Does anyone have a question? I mean, I have a question.
Yes, Stuart, I have a question.
Good,
This
Derek.
is Derek. I wish you could talk today about love and how that guides you and, God's love for you
God's love for me.
and everyone else too.
Look, what's the reason we're born here? We have to have a purpose for living in this world. And the element that allows our humanity to rise to the highest level is an open heart. An element that allows us to be able to communicate with other people with compassion, with caring, with kindness is an open heart. And yet, so many people, one of the most difficult elements in their life is learning how to open their heart. They have built walls of protection around their heart. They think that protection is going to keep them from being hurt. And it does the greatest damage of any force that a human being has to deal with. We create the fortress behind which we live. That fortress keeps life out. We keep ourselves from loving. We keep ourselves from living with kindness and compassion. And honestly, to me, it's the purpose all of us are born to learn how to do this, to learn how to transform our suffering into an open heart. An open heart enables us to serve our loved ones, our family, our people in our life. It enables us to serve God. And when we have that humility inside us, it allows us to open to a higher energy and say, thank you for this life you have given me, for the breath I take, for the food I eat, for the clothing I wear, for the place where I live. When we can say thank you with that kind of depth to a higher energy in the universe, understand what we're guided with is, what comes back is God's love. It's up to us, Derek, and everyone else, we have to build a system that makes this possible. We can't take it to granted that we were born here and that's the way we're supposed to live. It's not true. Why is there so much insanity in the world? You understand why, when you open the media, the first thing you're confronted with is a lunatic like Jeffrey Epstein? Because that's what people project in life. You understand? So we are responsible for building an inner life that is strong enough to do two things: to be kind to other people, to have compassion for other people, to have compassion for life, to be grateful for the breath that we take, and to be open to a higher force of energy in the universe. We are a point in a triangle that connects karma and life in the objective world as we live it and higher energy in the universe. If we don't open inside, you understand? It's like the pipes, the plumbing that connects us with life and God is all clogged up. We have clogged it up. And we're very good at blaming everything else. It's never us that takes responsibility. It's always something there, something, somebody else who did it. And it's all bullshit. Our plumbing needs a good plumber. It really does. To unclog the pipes that connect us to calmer and life, the life that we live every day, and higher energy in the universe. And when those pipes are unclogged, it transforms us. We are transformed. But our responsibility is to learn how to do this. And I can't talk about that enough because people take for granted that somehow life is going to do this for them. It's not. It never has and it never will. We are responsible for building a chakra system that enables us to do this. And I think when you ask about the love of God, that's how you get the love of God. You become God's child. You are doing what you're supposed to be doing on the earth. Not only what I teach, but any form of meditation, religion, anything that helps a person open on that level. Understand? So I'm not just promoting me. I'm saying anything, any teacher, anything that helps a person opens like that, build a system like that is being used as a tool to learn how to receive the love of God, spirit, higher energy, whatever one wants to call it. I hope that's clear. I don't know if I can make it much clearer. So the next time any of us begin to blame the world, let's take a good look at oneself in the mirror and say, why am I attracting that? What in me is giving off that kind of energy that it attracts negativity? That I'm blaming other people for how crazy the world. I mean, we all are at war with ourselves. Every one of us has some kind of a war going on inside us. And that war that we have going on inside us, that mind that never shuts up, the emotions, the tension, it reminds us we got to do something about ourselves. And I really believe this, it's never going to happen. But if people, 8 million, billion people did something about themselves, the war in the world would stop. All these schmucks that run governments, the real war is going on inside them and they take it out on the world. I hope that's clear, because it really begins to develop true responsibility. We can look in the mirror and see what is wrong. The mirror is life. It is telling us what is wrong inside each and every one of us. And then we can fix it. We can unclog the plumbing. I mean, I've been a plumber for 5 decades now, unclogging myself, so I could get to a place where there's a little bit of peace and quiet inside. And I think that's great to arrive at a place like that. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes, Bob?
As we continue to do our inner work, especially over time, how do we reinvent what it means to be successful?
Just open your heart, Bob. Success isn't contingent upon what you do in your objective world. It's really contingent upon whether you can live with your heart open, with love inside you, kindness inside. Some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life are like people that used to live in little villages in India. And you go and you sit down in their hut and they would offer you everything. It just came right out of their hearts. The simplicity, the love, the gratitude in them was so amazing. I mean, if all they could share with you was a cup of tea, it came right from the center of their hearts. So that to me is success. And if your karma requires that you make a lot of money and have that it'll come, it'll come. But if it doesn't require that, be grateful for the food you eat, the air you breathe, the life you have, the fact that you can sit down every day and work on yourself and open and arrive at the greatest point of success. And that is to be able to do your life with love and kindness and connect with spirit. You have fulfilled your karma on the earth. I mean, I always tell you, when I was in business, I used to deal with a lot of rich people, really wealthy people. I mean, billionaires, some of them. And I never met a happy person. I never met one. One guy was close. I used to really like him. He was a rancher. And when I first met him, he took off his cowboy boots in order to walk into the meditation room in the loft around. And I just looked at this guy and I said, "Yeah, here's a guy I like. Not an arrogant person." And we made good friends. We really got to like each other a lot. But I'll never forget, I was walking through that corridor in my loft and he was there taking off his cowboy boots in order to walk into the meditation room out of respect. And I won't tell you how this guy earned a living. It was, unbelievable how this guy used to earn a living. But he was an honest guy, completely honest way. But mostly greedy people fighting with you, arguing. I mean, it was unbelievable. And in order to deal with the people, I really had to be centered inside. I couldn't let their tension throw me off balance. So it made me go deeper inside just to be able to deal with them. They made me grow as people. So how do you know success? Success is when other people's tension don't throw you off balance. That's success in life. I mean that. Success is when you can live with kindness and your heart open and gratitude and even if people are full of shit and they do all kind, you know, they're teaching you something. And you have the strength inside not to let their craziness throw you off balance. And try it. Try it. It works. I remember once I was in India in Jaipur and I walked into an art store, art gallery there. And I walked in and they saw me, American guy coming into the store and I was surrounded by 5 or 6 salesmen and you could see the greed in their eyes. I'll never forget this. It was really unbelievable. And I looked at them and I started to laugh. I said, "My God, you're being attacked, Stuart." So they had a big Ganesh right at the entrance to this store. So I went over to the big Ganesh and I put $100 ruby note, it was like $2.50 or something. right at the foot of the Ganesh. And they all walked up to me. Are you Hindu? Do you worship Ganesh? I said, I know I don't worship, I'm not a Hindu, but I know the power of Ganesh. And all of a sudden, these guys became my friend. And we spent like 20 minutes talking about different spiritual things and this and that. And I didn't buy one thing in that store because there really was nothing for me. And as I was getting ready to leave, these five guys got in line and every one of them hugged me. I mean, I'll never forget that. It was really an extraordinary experience. They just got, they came and gave me a, please come back, sir. You're wonderful. We really like you. Come back here. And I left, you know. And this changes, you know, I once knew a guy, just to finish this up, who was like a big black belt, you know, the highest level black belt you can get in doing karate and all that stuff. This guy had, he attained it. And I was walking in the street with him, and I never forget, I said to him, you know, I would think the greatest people in the martial arts never get into a fight. And he looked at me, and I said, their chi has to be so strong that when somebody wants to fight, the energy, the opponent's energy will just melt. And he looked at me and he said, you're absolutely right. The greatest of the martial artists, they never fight. The power emanating from the third chakra is so strong that people's tension just melts. That's success. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Thank you, Stuart. That was
You're
very good.
welcome. Okay, thank you all. God bless you. Thank you for the questions. They really make me work deep inside. I mean it. I love it. You know, don't manufacture questions. Let the questions come from a place deep inside you. And the answers will have to come from a place deep inside me. So God bless you all. Thank you. There'll be class this evening. Jennifer will teach. And then the next class at this time will be on Sunday. So thank you. Bless you.
Thank you very much, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Have a great day.
Thank you.